Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope you're having a great day. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I'm super excited. I get to share with you some brand new items over at the Spellbinders shop. These are part of the Glistening Holiday Glimmer by Becca Feeken, and they are sets. They're glimmer plates, but they are gorgeous. The first one here that I get to share with you is called the Merry Filigree Quatrefoil Glistening Holiday Glimmer by Becca Feeken. It's a two-piece set. The main piece is stunning, and it creates a beautiful background for a card project, perfect for A2 size cards. You can see here. I think it'd look great if you were to cut that down to a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 inch card. It would create a quick and easy, beautiful card for the holidays. We're going to be using the sentiment for our project today from this set, so we'll put this one aside. And then our second set we're going to bring in is called the Hollyday Stationery and Envelope Corner Glimmer Plate, and it's part of the Glistening Holidays Glimmer collection from Becca Feeken too. Now this is super neat. This is what your package will look like, but you can create beautiful envelopes with this. I'm going to make a project today by making a card, but the neat thing about this glimmer plate is there's little notches in it. This is new to me. I've never seen a glimmer plate that has notches, and I think it's genius because it lines up your plates for mass producing if you want to, but even for your alignment using your glimmer machine. This piece here is stunning. You can see there's a notch here, and then there is a little notch here, and these won't foil. They're just made to connect with your main piece. There's little notches on that frame portion, and you just lay them inside. It's very loose, but it lines up beautifully. I thought that was so neat. So we're going to use both of these pieces today. This is a 6-piece set, and like I said, it's made for envelopes too, but I'm going to make a card front with it. Super stunning. And then there are extra hollyberry pieces too we're going to take a look at. This sentiment here is so cute. It says please deliver to, and you would put this inside your little piece here and then turn it sideways, and then you can write your recipient's name, or you could type it, whatever you prefer. So neat. Now you get two different hollyberry sets. One is a complete set, the other one is just the leaves, and then the other one is has berries separate, which I think is really neat, especially if you want to do different color foilings. And I'm going to show you how to use that today as well. I'm actually going to use these for a little bit of dimension on my card, and that's the only dimension that I'm going to add. Basically it's a 1-layer card, and I love the outcome because it's super simple but so elegant. So with these two sets we're going to get to creating. I'm going to pick out some foil here. Of course it's a holiday card, so we're going to take some red. And I was debating on whether silver or gold, and I know I needed the green, so this is what I decided. The red, we have the green, and then I chose the matte gold for my card today. Okay, there is hollyberries on that beautiful flourish, and so I wasn't sure what color I should do at first, so we're going to end up foiling the flourish and the frame gold, but we're going to start off by foiling the sentiment with red foil. So to do this, I'm lining up my background glimmer plates on a piece of printer paper that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches, and then I'm just trimming down a piece of red foil for my sentiment piece. I'm going to actually foil my sentiment first, so that's going to go back inside my frame. I'm going to add my foil, making sure it's not touching the outside of my frame, otherwise it'll turn it red. Now I'm taking a piece of my cardstock, just making sure everything's straight, and I shifted just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and add my foil back over the top. When you add your plates, you put them face up. Foil always goes face down, and I'm lining the corners up from my printer paper for my cardstock, and then I'm going to build my shim. I'm adding paper shims, my plastic shim plate, and my top plate. Then I just push my timer and this is ready to go. We're going to run that through the die cut machine. I like to go forward and back pretty slow. It looks like I'm going fast, but I sped the video up to 2 times. So it's pretty slow. I'm going to just use my Tool N One to remove the foil, and isn't that gorgeous? This would make a cute little Christmas tag too. Just punch a little hole in the top and add that to some gifts. I think it'd be gorgeous. Okay, so now my sentiment's done. Now I'm going to add some of the matte gold over the same glimmer plates, and then I'll add my cardstock, add my paper shims, and then my regular shim in my top plate, and then we'll let this heat up, and then we'll run this, doing it in 2 parts because we have 2 different colors on 1 layer panel. Just put that back in the docking station, and here's our results. I think it's so pretty. And we do have excess foiling, and I expected it because I didn't trim down my foil piece, but that's so easy to remove, guys. Easy peasy, but it lined up beautifully. Okay, now here's where we're going to take both of the holly berries. We're going to start off by placing them on a piece of printer paper. I'm just using that corner as a reference. I'm going to use my green foil and go over both of these. Now I'm going to foil the berries on the top holly berry one along with just the bottom leaves. I'll add my paper and then my paper shims and build my sandwich and press that timer button. And then in the meantime, we're going to take our sand eraser and sand away our extra foil. So this is what our holly looks like so far. Now I added it to printer paper, 1 for the alignment, but 2, if I remove this bottom glimmer plate, it left an indent in my printer paper. This way I know exactly where to put my little holly berries. I'm going to go ahead and add red foil over that bottom one, and then this top one I have to trim it down so the red foil's not hitting my leaves. I'm going to just add the same paper that I had used for the green leaves, place it over the top and build my sandwich. And then when I removed my decorative piece over here, I left it on my printer paper, and I did that for a reason because we're going to go back and do a little extra foiling on that piece. So I needed it as a guide for my cardstock panel. So my berries are all ready. Let's see what they did. Now I was super happy with the single berries that you can add. This one worked out pretty good, but it did leave me a little bit of green showing on the side of the berries. But it wasn't that big of a deal. I think the foiling is gorgeous, so I'm going to use both of these for my card today. I thought while we were at it, we're going to add some color to our background panel in that little flourish. So I'm just taking some small strips of green foiling. I used 3, and I'm going to add them over the holly leaves on that flourish. And it was it did go over on the decorative lines on the flourish, but I think once I add my holly berries, you won't be able to tell. I just foiled that, running it through my die cut machine, and you can see the foiling, how it went over the lines, but it just added a little extra color there, and I wanted a little bit more color. Now I did the same thing with the center berries, added a small piece of red foil, and I think that's going to work out perfectly. This is a pretty simple card, but I think it's gorgeous. Just love it. Okay, clean up my desk area, take my sand eraser and clean up any excess foiling on my holly and berries along with my background panel. And you know what, I've used a regular eraser too, and it removes the foil also. It doesn't have to be a sand eraser. I'm going to take my scissors and fussy cut out my holly leaves with the berries. And then I have my card base, which is the standard top folding A2 size card base. I'm going to go ahead and adhere my panel directly over the top. It's a complete card front, so just lining up those edges so it covers everything. And then I'm going to add some foam squares behind each one of, probably in the center of my berries only. This way I could fluff up the holly leaves. I'm going to add one to the center of my flourish and then one right below the sentiment. And I think that looks so pretty. I'm always amazed at foiling, how easy it is, but how elegant. Okay, I added some red stickles, some red glitter drops around my foliage. You can see some close-up pictures here, and then that completes my card. If you're interested in this brand new set from Becca Feeken, again, it's called the Glimmering Holiday, or the Glistening Holiday Glimmer collection. It's so pretty. I encourage you to check it out, and I'll leave links down below. Have a great day, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. We will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.